All right, so we're going to continue our skit. So this time, it's going to be me being the person who does not have kids, and then he's going to be the person who does have kids. And I'm going to see how I can do this because I'm not very sure, but I'm going to try my best with it. So
all you got to do is just let them have, tell the truth.
okay.
Even if you might be thinking about having kids or you don't know, what I'm saying, or you're waiting for things to get better, all that, just, let them know. Okay.
So I'm the person without kids, and he's the person with kids.
All right, y'all ready? Because I feel like y'all get a better understanding this way when it's back and forth. Because y'all see the situation and y'all going to be in it. So, when you see it in real life like this, this is how you know.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Okay, I don't know.
So basically, we just make it like say like a little date scenario. I want a big family. Like I say,
Okay, so now so we're doing a dating scenario, like me and him
was
first
like
meeting.
It's like it's meet and greet, not a date, because I ain't trying to have sex with this woman at the end of the day. None of that. So it's a meet and greet.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. So hey, how you doing? My name's Anwan.
Hi, Anwan. My name's Michelle.
One of the biggest things I want is a big family. I want to have about maybe 8 kids. I want a big family. I come from a big family, so therefore I want a big family.
You want a big family?
Yeah,
are you sure about that?
I would love to have a big family with you. Sometime in the future. With you.
Oh, I don't think that's such a good idea. I mean, I'm the type of person, I don't want kids. The reason why I don't want kids is because having a big family, that to me, that's a really huge, big, like, responsibility. All those kids running around, no peace. I mean, to me, when I think about somebody having a big family with a bunch of kids, it's like, I think about a bunch of kids. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Recess before, where they have the kindergartners and stuff, and the kids are swinging on the ceiling, and and like little crazy little,
but that's
animals and stuff.
That's that's not real. You know what I mean? Kids aren't really going to.
Are you planning on if you're planning on having 8 kids, so you're planning on having like a football team or something? Like, is this like that?
Oh well, so I've heard other guys say that they like basketball, so they want a basketball team or something like that. But for me, I just want a big family. I just think that spreading the genes around and having a big family, I want to continue the genes, But if you don't want to have kids, that's selfish. You selfish. You selfish that you don't want to have kids. That's selfish. Because I want to have a bunch of kids. You don't want to have a bunch of kids. I see it on Facebook all the time. Oh, a bunch of girls, they would love to have a bunch of kids. But I want to do that with you. Why ain't you proud of that? You a woman. You supposed to pop them out. You know what I'm saying? So why can't you do that? Like, you selfish because you don't want to. You selfish.
Well, the thing is if I were going to if it's going to be 8 kids, I would have to carry those kids each one at a time for 9 months. And one thing about being pregnant is it's not very comfortable being pregnant. And I would have to be, have food and have all these resources and stuff, and have like a house, and we'd still be able to pay our bills and stuff like that, and be able to have rooms if we're going to have, all those 8 kids. I'm thinking on like a realistic level, because I want to live in a house, I want us to have new cars, I want us to be able to handle our bills and stuff like that. But then adding the kids, it just seems like it's going to be crazy because we're not going to get any peace. And you're talking about like, having 8 kids, it's going to be one after the other. And I'm the type of person, I don't like to have a whole bunch of noise and everything like that. I like to have my quiet time, my peace time, where I like read books or I watch videos or do what I want to do or go out to places and stuff. And I don't want to have, I don't want to have, a whole classroom full of kids running behind me, where I have to tell this one, stop doing this, don't do that, get back over her Jimmy, Where's Sarah? Sarah, where are you? And so, like, I'm not trying to have a whole school full of kids. Like, it's just too much. I mean, and they all have all that energy and stuff. I mean, I don't want to be that chick holding the baby and then all the kids are, running all over the place, one about to run out and get hit or something like that, I mean, I just don't want to do it. I mean, for a woman, the woman's the one that has to carry the kids, and for me, I'm not willing to do it. You know, reason being is because it's not it's not an enjoyable experience. For a woman, you get fat. You don't, you're constantly eating all the time. You
Oh
feel
no,
sick.
I don't
You
expect
get
you to get fat.
motion sickness or whatever. You have to, worry about cramping and stuff like that, or worry about miscarriaging and shit like that. And all these doctor visits and shit like that, kid after kid after kid and stuff like that. I mean, it all sounds like it sounds like hell to me personally. To have to do all that or whatever. And I mean, another thing is me being a black woman. There's this stereotype that black women are gonna have. They're gonna be that woman who's pushing a stroller and have a bunch of kids. I don't want to fulfill a stereotype. I'm smarter than that. I don't want to be that person who, is fulfilling that. I want to, blaze my own trail, be my own person, and be that independent woman, and do my own thing when I want to do stuff. I don't want to have to be dragged to places because I got kids, because I got to take them to the science center because I got to find something for them to do, or to the zoo every damn week and stuff like that or whatever. And I constantly have to tell the kids, stop doing this, don't do that, and stuff like that, and then constantly have to cook food day in and day out and stuff like that. I mean, it just sounds like hell to me, but
But don't you want to attend? Now I really heard your reasoning. I don't know if there's any more I can say for real. I'm a stand up guy. What I mean, and this sounds like something that's horrifying for you. And since I'm a stand up person, I know there's other girls out there that loves popping babies out. Like basically, they're just baby machines and they just pop out one after another, and they don't really care. But I really liked you. I really thought that this was gonna be one of those things. But I'm not gonna ruin your life like that. I really I'm a stand up dude. So I'm saying, like, I understand. Since you were strong, and when you said that you didn't want to fulfill a stereotype, what I mean. When you said that, and you said that you were a strong, independent woman, things like that. A lot of girls ain't like that, and I don't want to ruin that for you. You know what I'm saying? So. I'm okay with that.
But how are you gonna? So you want 8 kids. So how are you gonna support all those kids? Like, what kind of job are you gonna have to support them?
Oh well, right now I just work with the I don't really have much anything right now. I just feel like that I just wonder if I can have that. Basically it's just a leap of faith for me. What I mean, I'm just wondering. How I'm gonna get there. Right now, what I'm saying, I just work at Lowe's right now. I don't really make that much, but I was hoping that basically, I was just really leaving it to chance, really. But I mean, I was just thinking that things would eventually work out. That it would just work itself out, like my family. They said somehow it worked out for them, and I thought, okay, maybe I can have that same type of luck, or that same type of blind faith that they had. If I can have that, I thought that might work. But I can see that there's a lot more that this entails. When I was little and I saw them growing up, I didn't really see the bills. What I'm saying? I didn't really see the rent. What I'm saying? I didn't see that type of stuff. The food just seemed to just come in the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? And we even had a dog. And stuff was really working out. Not, I thought it was pretty cool. When some of us had to take the dogs, for a walk, or we had to do some stuff like some chores. You know what I'm saying? And we got allowances, but Dad would be like, Mom would be like, you guys want $8? Okay, you all do, do your chores. And there was 8 kids. I thought that I was going to get the $8, but I only got $1. You know what I'm saying? And everybody only got $1 for the whole week of us doing the chores. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just one of the things that happened. But it's okay.
So where did you guys live?
We lived in a ghetto, you know what I'm saying? It was a, kind of fucked up part, the big, the crack cocaine epidemic was one of the biggest things that was going on down there, you know what I'm saying? Because people was hungry as fuck, you know what I'm saying? And, it's hard for people, they be hungry, they try to go in the stores and eat out of the cookies in the store, you know what I'm saying? Just to have something to eat, you know what I'm saying? There was one of those type of things that was just, difficult to live through, you know what I mean? But, damn, I never actually reflected on this type of stuff before, you know what I'm saying? So now that I am, I'm wondering if I really be having 8 kids. I mean, damn, man, you really making me think, but I never met a woman like you before. Maybe I should, second guess my my aspirations in life with kids, that I'm worrying about right now.
Well, so if you had these kids, then you know,
I never thought about this stuff before. I thought I was gonna be able to take responsibility from a kid. I'm not gonna be a
do you,
deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be one of them. You know what I mean? I thought I was gonna take care of the kids. Now I don't actually expect us to split up or anything like that. That's what I thought. That's what was gonna happen.
well, so like, are you just planning on like just? Are you planning on having these kids like be? Are you planning on just having these kids with a chick, or are you planning on like getting married, then having the kids? Or I mean, have you thought about that? Or you just you know
Look, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to come up, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get the fuck out of the ghetto, you know what I'm saying? And I thought that, I heard all the time that when you have kids, women have kids, I heard my mom always talk about, that taxes that to get from the kids and the children at the end of the month, or, at the end of the year that she get. So I was like, okay, maybe that can happen for me too, and for you too, when we get that extra money from the government helping us out, you know what I'm saying? I heard about WIC, I also heard about, EBT and stuff like that. And I thought that, damn, if we can benefit from the government, then maybe things will be cheaper for us, you know what I'm saying? And, I thought, I didn't really think about the kids growing up in school, what type of school district they would be in or what type of bullies they're going to be having. But, I just really worried about me, you know what I'm saying? I was just, I figure you a woman. I figure you going to pop them babies out like the rest of them on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? That's what I thought it was going to be. I called you selfish for not wanting to have a kid because I only said that because, you weren't going to have all them kids with me, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was selfish, you know what I'm saying? But I guess it just didn't work out that way.
Well, so one thing, if you have so how would you, if you have a woman that has kids, then how are you gonna pay for those hospital bills every time she has these kids?
Wait, that was included? Hospital bills?
Yeah, every time she delivers a baby, I mean, she's gonna have to, they're gonna have to have the baby.
For free.
No, it's not free. And where are you gonna get the money for? So and like, okay, let's say
I don't remember my mom ever paying for nothing. She said, "You got a new baby brother, or you got a new baby sister." And that's what I always remember her saying.
Was your mom there to like? So what did your mom and dad do? That they like? Did they both work or did they?
Yeah, they both would work, and they would have a babysitter come on, and babysit us, but the babysitter would be mad because she didn't get paid that much because, like I said, we lived in the ghetto, you know what I'm saying? So she didn't really get a lot of money. Plus, she was scared out of her mind hearing this stuff on the news and hearing the police officers knocking on people's doors right next door to us, you know what I'm saying? So she would be scared as fuck. But, so if we would have different babysitters because, every time one would come over, they'd be like, damn, where the fuck am I at? I don't know if I want to be in this part of town, you know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of how stuff was. And, but, I'm like I said, I'm trying to come up, you know what I'm saying, with them taxes, though.
So how are you going to come up with the taxes if you have kids? Because aren't you going to have to pay for the kids to have, like, food and shelter and, be able to have clothes and shoes and...
Well, that's more money than I'm getting right now. I'm thinking that you pop out the babies. You get to have fun having sex. You get to do that, and then you get to have fun, doing the stuff on Facebook like the other girls do. The maternity shoots, and, with the pregnant belly pictures, and, having a baby shower, and, eventually, after all the kids come out, maybe, getting married or something. We can have the money for marriage if you just pop the babies out and let the government and let everybody else in the world pay for it.
Yeah, but if you have a bunch of kids, that causes the cost of stuff to go up at the store. Even for people who don't have kids.
But I thought, that's what WIC is going to be for and EBT is going to be for.
But that's not what that's for. I mean, you have WIC. So WIC is something where basically it's a government program where you have the women and they will get, they'll get like vouchers and stuff so that they can buy like basic stuff like, milk or, juice or water and, vegetables and stuff that, the children need in their diet, you know what I'm saying? It's not something where the women can just buy anything like it's a debit card, EBT, yeah, you can go and buy, whatever you want with EBT and stuff like that with, food and, you know, drinks and soda and water. You can do all that with EBT, but you're limited though. And if you have EBT, you got to work at least 20 hours a week in order to get EBT.
I thought it was just money. I thought it was just they just give you money for WIC, and you can just use it whatever you need for the kid, right?
You can't. And it always takes a long time when you have a person having WIC in a line because they always have to process the vouchers individually. And it can take like an hour.
All right, look. I really want 8 kids. I want a big family. Okay, look. What about this? What about, going to a baseball game or, one of your kids'
Well, how
activities?
much is it going to cost for each kid to go to the baseball game?
Well, it'll be for high school, or middle school. It's usually like $5.
If you have 8 kids, that's $40 for 8 kids, but then you're not even including our tickets. So it'd be like $50 for us to go to a baseball game, and not to mention the kids are gonna want, they're all gonna want a hot dog, or they all want popcorn, or they all want juice or something. So we might end up spending like $100 going to a baseball game, and that's just for one. That's for one event.
Look, my dad, right? He wanted 10 kids, and look, he only got 8. But here's the thing: he cheated to get the other 2. So Mom popped out 8, and he cheated to get the other 2 kids. We don't really know him that well. He flew off somewhere in Germany, had 2 kids. So, I mean, I don't want to be a cheater or nothing like that. I don't want to so how many kids are you willing to have?
None. 0.
I know what, I don't think this is going to work out. I'm just finished my food, and I'm sorry, this ain't going to work. Okay, there y'all go.
So that's the skit of, with me having, me being the person who doesn't have kids, he does have kids, and we have like the dating scenario. What I want to tell people is that by seeing those skits, it's really here to talk to you guys, let you guys like laugh, but also to be able to see what a realistic conversation is, when it comes to kids. The one where I was the parent, I already had kids, so it's like one of those things where, the kids were already there. This is, with him, where he's a person with kids, he didn't, he was planning on having kids. And, yes, it's important to, talk about that when you're going into dating somebody and stuff like that. It's never okay to be, to just do stuff and not do it, with any thought.
As you see, she came in with extra knowledge, extra research about what the hell WIC was and all this other stuff. I was just coming in with what I saw growing up. You know what I'm saying? Of course, unfortunately, yes, there is in real life 8 kids in my family, siblings-wise, because my dad really wanted 10 kids, and my mom didn't want to give him 10 kids. She only gave him 2 kids, and yes, he went and cheated to get those 10 kids, but so far he only got about, I think he only got 9. Yeah, so he's got 1 more to go.
Yeah, and what I want to tell people is that, when it comes to not having kids, it's okay not to have kids. It's okay to not be that person who, who has to deal with a bunch of kids yelling and screaming in a Walmart. It's okay to not be that person. It's okay to try to build your life, to get your own house, to get your own car, to go on vacation, to, hang out with your friends and do what you want. It's okay to do those things. You don't have to go, and you don't have to be like everybody else. You don't have to be. In this life, it's about, having experiences. But, an experience which is very rich and awesome is not having kids. Because think about it. Kids are expensive. I get told this by people all the time. And I also look at people, in my family and people on Facebook and stuff who have kids. And I can tell that having kids is not what I want to do. I can tell. I mean, the way people talk about, there will be girls who will say, well, it's sad that a guy left me and stuff like that with this, take care of, my baby and this and that or whatever and stuff. But she's saying her baby. Now some women won't say, it's my baby or whatever. But the thing is that there you notice that the woman is not, she didn't think about, you know, she didn't think about having a baby and the consequences at first. She didn't do that, if that makes sense. She just thought, oh, well, I'm with the guy and we're together, we're taking pictures and all this stuff like that. And then they have sex, she comes up pregnant, and then somehow the guy leaves or whatever. Well, maybe that guy never wanted to have kids, but maybe, maybe you guys were too afraid to just come out and be adult about it and just say, well, you know what, um, you know, one person, you get it at clean the air. One person does want kids, the other one does. Well, that means you got to split and find somebody else who does. Or maybe you'll be that person who's okay with not having kids.
I mean, there's plenty of them. There really is. There's a lot of girls out there who's baby machines. There's a lot of girls out there who's copying other girls, on Facebook because they saw what they had, and they just like that. You know what I'm saying? But, and there's guys out there too that will just give you a baby. Like, they don't have a fucking problem with giving you a baby, because I've actually met some that actually say, oh, I want a whole basketball team. And I thought he was joking. But he's really serious because he always talks about that. This whole, and especially of a different culture, sometimes Mexicans, they see a big family. They believe in a big family. They go for a big family. It's just something that they see, they grow up with, and really that's how we all survive as a little baby. We all grow up copying what we see in order to survive, but eventually when you hit an adult, you start at some point, you gotta stop copying stuff. You're going to start developing your own personality, picking and pulling from different personality traits that you see in the world and add them to yourself, and that's how you come up with your own personality.
When you're the person who just, when you're the person who you decide that you don't want to have kids, I think that you're saving the world, because you're not bringing kids in the world that you don't want. It's okay. If you had a childhood and you grew up and you see that your parents didn't see the eye to eye or something, and they just had a bunch of kids and it was terrible. Okay, well, you can lead a life as an adult where you don't have kids. And you never have to worry about, buying clothes for the kids, buying shoes for the kids, making sure the kids eat, making sure the kids go to school and when they get off of school and their doctor's appointments and, having to buy costumes for them every year or birthday stuff for them every year and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about that stuff. The money that you would be spending on kids, you can spend on yourself. You can go take a trip. You can start your own business. You can go and, you can do whatever the hell it is you want to do. There is no shame in not having kids.
Now,
it's actually good.
Y'all might be saying that, but what about the fact that we already, I already got her pregnant? What about the fact that she's already pregnant? Okay, look. The cost for birth control is far cheaper than the cost for an abortion. Cost for abortion is $400. $200 the first time when you get in there at Planned Parenthood. $200. Pay up front. Cash. Okay, that's first. Okay, so you have to, then they're going to make her wait and make sure that she wants to do that. And that's going to be a terrifying time for, if you're a man, it's going to be a terrifying time, because she can, what if she starts saying shit like this? Well, I'm going to go talk to my Christian family members. She's probably going to have that baby. She might have a baby, and then she has all those people out there before you go to Planned Parenthood, all those Christian people that's out in front, that's act like they really care about you, and they act like that, they're going to help you out, but they really not. After you have the baby, they're going to say, get a job,
Yeah, you're a bad parent. You shouldn't have had the kids if you knew you can't support them and stuff. But they're the people cheering for you to have the kids.
Yeah.
The thing is that,
So it's $400. So after the week, she'll come back and you got to pay the $400. She's going to get the procedure now.
And then, she's no longer pregnant. There are so many people who are going to say, oh, well, it's murder, if you have an abortion. Okay, let's talk about this. I had an abortion, and the thing is that I had an abortion because I decided that that was right for me. I knew that, I was in my senior year of college and I was just about to graduate. And, I already knew that, it was not the time for me to be having a kid. I did not have the money. And, I believed what I was told. And, I've been told in high school, what I've been told in college, what I heard from, all over the place from people and media and companies and everything. That, once you graduate from college, then you're going to get this great job and opportunities are going to open up for you. And, you can do, you can have a successful life and stuff. That's what I believed. So because I believed it and, I wanted to make sure my family saw me in this great light, then I said, it's not the right time for me to be, having, a child and bringing it into this world and stuff. And I will tell you, when I got the procedure, I like to call it, done, it was done in an environment where there were people who were caring, they listened to you and stuff. There was a lot of other girls that were getting abortions done too, which I thought was good. I got to talk to some of them and stuff while we were waiting and stuff like that. I mean, that was the longest day ever. But the thing is that, when I was getting the procedure done by doctors and stuff like that, then, yeah, it was something where they did have to take they did have to take it, take it out from, from the vagina and stuff. They did have to do that or whatever. But I was like on medicine, so that I would not feel as much pain, as I otherwise would and stuff like that. But that going through that little bit of pain, I think it was worth it because, I think if I would have brought a child into this world, then, I would be scared to death for my child and worried if it's going to come back, you know, I mean, with all these school shootings and stuff. I mean, I can still, I can still remember being in that room where, they were doing the procedure and stuff. I still remember it. I still remember laying on the bed and stuff like that. And, where they were taking it out and stuff like that. I still remember it, the people and stuff. But, there were people who cared about me. They cared about me because they were willing to perform a procedure that was going to help save my life and to help me be able to do some of the things that I wanted to continue to do. You know what I'm saying? And that was important. Now, afterwards, I did have to go into like a rest area and stuff. And it was a nice little area and stuff like that where, each of the girls had beds and stuff like that. And they gave us like graham crackers and juice and stuff like that to put something on our stomach. Yeah, I was cramping. But, the cramping was something that I was like willing to deal with. It wasn't crazy a lot, but I did get a prescription, for, so that I'd have the medicine that I need so that, I would continue to be healthy and I would not get sick afterwards or whatever. But something, when I walked out of that Planned Parenthood, and he was with me and stuff like that, he had to drive because I was under medication and stuff. I could walk, but driving wasn't advised. When I walked out of that Planned Parenthood, I felt like I made the right decision because, I didn't like feeling pregnant, being pregnant. I didn't like having to eat, being nauseated. I didn't like how it interfered with my schooling where, I couldn't get my homework done or focus on projects and stuff or whatever. I didn't like feeling like I was in an experience that I didn't want to be in. It's not something I wanted to deal with, So, I mean, for people to say, oh, well, you just go through pregnancy, you got a lot of people who publicize pregnancy and make it look all exciting, like girls with the maternity shoots and all that shit. But for me, I knew earlier on that I didn't want to do it. Big reason why is because when my mom, had, me and my siblings and stuff, I was the last child or whatever. And, I looked at how, how my parents had to work. I looked at how, they were trying to get by and stuff like that. I looked at how my mom wasn't able to go to college like she wanted to, because she had kids. I look at how, there's things like my mom never got to travel. My mom didn't get a chance to go and, get married. Like, well, she got married, okay, but she did not get a chance to have the type of wedding she wanted. She basically had to have a rushed and a pressured wedding because of what my father's family wanted, because they felt like it was better that she get married real quick and pressured and stuff. And no, she didn't have a wedding. My mom got married basically outside my dad's mother's house with somebody that was like a preacher or something. And then it was my mom and my dad, and that was it. And they took a picture, basically. My mom didn't have a wedding dress. She didn't walk down an aisle. None of that. It was nothing, and that was ridiculous. Now, some people in my dad's family, maybe they don't want to think about it. They don't want to hear about it. It is what it is, and that's one of the reasons, like, when I get married, I'm going to do it when I'm ready, and I'm also going to have a marriage where I have children, because I know I'm just not the type of person to have kids. I will say to a person, who, they get in their own house, you got your car, like you just bought a car or something like that, like I just saw on my Facebook timeline, I think that to that person, to people who are like that, girls and guys, keep doing your thing. Don't rush into anything. What I'm saying? If you got a relationship going with somebody, enjoy that relationship you got with the person, and enjoy having your own house. Enjoy, that car you just bought, what I'm saying? Do stuff that you want to do for the, rest of your life. You don't have to have kids like everybody else. You're winning already. Why not keep winning? You know what I'm saying? I mean, why not? For people who want to have kids, okay, go ahead and have kids if you want to. But I think that those people need to be prepared to handle the whole thing with taking care of kids. And, I find it interesting how people who have, people who say they want kids and then they have kids, I find it so funny that before the fact, they never go and they never babysit other people's kids to see what it's like. They never go and look at the cost of stuff like diapers or Pampers or clothes and stuff like that, or how much it costs to raise a child from 0 to 18. They never do any of that. They just do it on blind faith. They try to do it like that people do in church. They try to do it like that because somehow it's going to work out. Well, it's not. We saw a lady. When we went to Aldi, we saw a lady, and there she was with her daughter. And she had a sign, and she basically said her job went out of business. So the company she was working for went out of business, so therefore she lost her job and stuff, and she needed food and stuff like that. Luckily, there was a lady there that was willing to give food and stuff. But the reality is that stuff can happen once you have kids. Things can happen. You could lose a job. But think about it. If you got those kids, you got extra mouths to feed. You don't just have the man and, you and the man. You got you, the guy, and the kids, and if you don't have the person there, like, ladies, if it's you and the guy doesn't want to work or something, you at a big disadvantage, what I'm saying, if he doesn't want to do that. But, what I'm saying, if you the one holding up the household and you can't, you can't provide that money, y'all gonna be homeless. And, I know it's gonna be embarrassing, but you got to remember, you got those 2 kids. You have 2 little kids who are being subjected to homelessness. You know what I'm saying? And think about if you don't have no support, if you moved here from another state, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have the support of anybody and stuff like that. Think about that. Now, some people are going to say, oh, well, you could just go to a church and they'll help you out. I don't think they're going to. They're not going to. How are they going to help you out? At the churches, they pass around a collection plate. Pastor having you give money. He ain't giving you no money. I have yet to see a pastor go and write a check to every single person in that church for, $500 or $1,000 to help people out. I've yet to see that. I've yet to see you have a reverend or pastor or somebody go and pass around a plate for people to take as much money as they need to take care of their bills. You know what I'm saying? I've yet to see that. I've yet to see somebody like T.D. Jakes or these really popular, famous preachers, reverends, or whatever on TV give money out to those people that need it.
Donate their 10%. Go ahead, ask them. Say, God really laid it on my heart, and I had this prophetic dream, and the Holy Spirit spoke to me, and God revealed Himself to me for me to tell you that you should donate 10% of your income. It's gonna make a huge difference if they do it. You should donate 10% of your income to our church for our children and for our families. Donate 10% of your income to our church. You about to really see what he really about. You gonna do it to all of them. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
See if you get any amount that was 10 that equals 10% of what you look up of the revenue.
Now you're gonna have people gonna say, well, I'm just gonna have a kids and I'm just gonna see what happens. Yeah, but you could lose your job. There's a lot of places going out of business. Lots of places. Name brand storage. You had Kmart went out of business. Toys R Us, I don't know if it's going to completely go out of business. They're saying it might, but there is hope for it because they've raised a lot of hundreds of millions of dollars to try to save Toys R Us. So, it might just get bought by Disney though, because it might. But the thing is, it's like there's other stores
plenty
too.
Of stores, like big ones. I'm talking Microsoft. They closed so many of their stores. It's sad. Like it was like 400 stores. That's so many. Microsoft, okay, closed theirs. Many people laid off. People.
Yeah, there's other stores that
Blockbuster's been gone for quite a minute. Y'all know that.
Yeah, there's been Radio. Well, I haven't seen a Radio Shack in forever. I think that is gone. Radio Shack's gone. Payless. I'm starting to see a lot of Paylesses go out. Like there's one that's near us that's gone. I mean, yeah, there's some Paylesses, but you gotta think when these places go out of business, that means that the people who work there, they no longer have jobs. So
and that's all of them. That's not like one person getting fired. That's
everybody getting fired, and that means you have a whole bunch of people at these job fairs. Now these job fairs, there are lots of people, and the most popular type of person we see at these job fairs are black folks. They're dressed up, suit and tie for guys, and ladies all dressed up trying to get a job and stuff like that or whatever. And, they got their resumes, and they've been to 10 or 12 job fairs and stuff trying to get a job. But, of course, stuff is not, not stuff, but, actually, it's just that companies are not on the side of giving jobs to black folks. Now, people are going to debate me on it, but it's true. When I got out of college, I went to a lot of job fairs, and, I was trying to get a job. So, it is what it is. If you're a person and you winning right now and you decide you don't want to have kids, I suggest it. You know what? If you have a significant other, talk to that person and say, you know what? I don't want to have kids. You know what I'm saying? And if you're the type of person you do want to have kids, you know what? Maybe we should split up. We can still be friends and all that, but you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. I want to be with somebody who shares the same, value that I do, which is, not having kids and stuff, and keep on winning. Keep on, get you your house, get you your car, you know what I'm saying? Go travel, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy yourself, get new hobbies, meet new friends, have fun experiences, you know what I'm saying? Enjoy that, because the people who have kids, they wish they can do what you're doing. They wish they can go out.
That's why they're trying to make you make the same mistake that they did. That's why.
Yeah, they wish they can get up and just go out and go somewhere and stuff like that without having to, have somebody watch their kids. They wish they can do that. They wish they could. They wish that they could work any shift, they wanted and stuff like that. They wish they could.
See, if you're homeless together without kids, you both can say, all right, let's both get a job. And let's both try to work and bring money in and save up a bunch of money so that we can get an apartment or get something. You can't do that with kids, though, because somebody has to stay behind and watch them. And that's just the sad part about that.
And there's so many, the thing I always say is there's so many people walking around with, so many women walking around with being pregnant bellies. We see it all the time at Walmart. We see it at every single store. And it's like, it's just, we want to see one pregnant woman. We see, 5, 10, or more.
And they already have 3 kids.
And they already do, and they're, and, right, they already have kids.
They already have a boy and a girl, so what are you doing? Because you already have, you can't get another gender. There's only 2 genders, male and female. If you get both, what are you doing?
Yeah, and, I mean, some people just, they want to continue to make the same, they want to, do the same thing. They want to be like everybody else and stuff. But the thing is aren't we supposed to be about being our own selves and being individuals? Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
I mean, I understand what you're doing when it comes to, you know, having different men paying child support, so you have all these different incomes in the month with all these different kids. I understand that, because to me that's not a good thing, by the way. It's evil, but you know, I did.
Yeah, but if you have your own, if you're a woman and you get a job, all that money that you make, that's your money. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to spend money on kids. You can spend that money on whatever you want. You can spend it on, those Beyonce tickets you wanted. You can spend it on those, those high heels you wanted, that Victoria's Secret you wanted to buy, that
Gucci.
Bath and Body Works you wanted, that Coach purse you wanted, going on that trip you wanted to go on with your girlfriends and stuff like that. You can do a lot. You know what I'm saying? You can go and you can buy that car you wanted to get. You can buy the type of house you want to have.
You have that worry that's off of your mind when shit starts to, go downhill in the pot. You know what I'm saying? That worry off your mind without kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, lights getting turned off. Damn. There goes my refrigerator. All the food in my refrigerator is going to spoil. And I got to re-up on all my damn food. You ain't got to worry about that type of stuff. Those worries, damn, my relationship fucking sucks. It ain't working out. Worth the damn. Oh, all right. Whew. This time I got kids, though. I can just go ahead and try again.
So, yeah, I want to say that, and we want to say, it's okay not to have kids.
Yeah.
It's okay. You save money, and you can put the money to what you want.
I just, one last thing I want to say. Well, she's right, though. Okay, you can. But last thing I want to say is this. It's okay not to have kids. It's okay to get an abortion if you are already pregnant right now, when you're thinking about it. Because, look, fuck church. I'm telling you that right now. Because let's face it. You see what they do in the Planned Parenthood. When you get up there, you're going to drive up there, you're going to see them actually with signs. They're out there all the time, every day. If they really cared about you as a black person, and it's the church that's doing that, if they cared about you as a black man, as a black woman, they cared about your black children, they would be marching every fucking day. They would be out there outside of the churches. They would be going to all these different places, political events.
When they voting and stuff,
voting. Yeah. They would be there, in front of the courthouses when black people's getting, unlawfully convicted, stuff like that. They would be out there with, not Black Lives Matter, because that's a different movement, but saying, stop killing black people, stop doing that stuff. That's not cool. We're trying to get them, to have babies, and their babies, we need safer places for them to raise their babies, go fix their houses. All I've been seeing, in North St. Louis and things like that, all I've been seeing there is more money given to the churches to build what? Churches. I'm going to tell you, more churches.
Yeah.
Instead of putting a house there, instead of putting an apartment building there to house multiple people, instead of, tearing down these abandoned buildings and putting apartments there also to house multiple people, or a park, or a garden, or something. Actual store. How about a Walmart? How about that? How about go ahead and give them Kmart. Go ahead, on a Target or something like that, since Kmart's gone. Go ahead and reopen these black stores that was already there. Let's reopen them, get them back open again, so that people can come and grocery shop instead of only having a liquor store to go to for groceries. Because what is that? That's a bag of chips. That's some cookies. What is that? Most of that stuff is alcohol. A little bitty thing, $1 thing of bottled water. What the fuck is that shit? Okay, so I'm telling you, they're misusing the funds. The church people don't care about you. Okay, you're on your own with your decision. You're on your own with your decision. Because if Jesus cared about you, slaves wouldn't have been, there wouldn't have been no slavery. We wouldn't have to go through what we've gone through. If everything with us was going to be better on the scene once Jesus came on the scene, then our ancient African history would be a lot better with the, with the Songhai Empire, ancient Kemet, you know what I'm saying? Songhai, you know what I'm saying? The Kilwa, the Kumasi, and the Benin, everything would have been cool, and better. But ever since that Jesus showed up, everything's been bad. Everything's went downhill with us. You know what I'm saying? So they out there to get you to make that mistake. They out there outside of Planned Parenthood to get you to make that mistake. But like I said, if they really cared about you, so fuck them. Because they not out there really for us, for real. Okay? They just trying to get you to make that mistake. To keep you down. Because they know. Especially why Planned Parenthood? Because most black people go there. Because we got problems. Some of us need cheaper birth control options. We need birth control. Okay, they talking about, you see, they ain't talking about go get birth control. They not telling you what to do to prevent you. It's just like the crack epidemic. Instead of telling the people and quarantining them like they would white folks, instead of quarantining the black people and quarantining the drugs and quarantining the addicts and get them, back to health, it was put them in jail, private prisons, jail. That's all it was. It's the same thing right now with them in Planned Parenthood. Because with Planned Parenthood, they out there right now. It's not getting birth control. They ain't even cared about you getting cancer. You might be there for a fucking cancer screening. You might have cancer and they ain't caring about that, are they? No. All they give a shit about is you making this mistake of going ahead and having that baby, losing your apartment, having to live back at mama's house, having to get rid of your dog that you love, that you have 14 years and he's got 1 year to live, but you got to get rid of him anyway because, now you got a baby. Stuff like that. Okay? I just wanted to let y'all know that. That's the last thing I wanted to say. Fuck church. They ain't there to help you. If they was, you would be seen out there right now in front of those places, making sure that black people wasn't getting killed, hurt. They'd be all over the place if they was really together on this. But they just did. But why are they only over there at Planned Parenthood trying to make sure that you have a baby? And so your situation is still keep yourself down so that you can't save money to grow a business, to put your money together, to have a family business before you have a baby. Because it makes sense to actually have a baby to keep your business running. That's all I gotta say. That's the last thing I gotta say. So you can say whatever else you want to say after that.
Oh no, I didn't have anything else to say. So, thank you guys for watching this video, and remember, it is okay not to have kids.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching.